evening, everybody, and welcome to Club Reaction here. And we are actually live on YouTube this evening following a rather enjoyable 5-goal thriller at Easter Roads, where Rangers emerged 4-1 victors. Fairly short in the hosting duties today, or the panel duties, should I say? Sorry, it's just myself and my guest because we've had some illness in the pod and childcare duties. So the two of us, I will try and get through to that, and that is my guest, Mr. Pearson. So how are things with you this evening?
Not bad. I've got the B team on tonight against Scotia. I had the B team in a while, so we're back on. And what an enjoyable game of football that was to be a Rangers fan tonight. And can we play in Edinburgh every week, Scotia, if that's the way Michael Beale team's going to play?
Oh, indeed, it was very enjoyable, and we will get through to that. I do not doubt you, but yeah, we'll get through with that. But yeah, anyway, before we start that as well, Pearson, something popped up for me today. Guess what happened 10 years ago on the day?
I think 10 years ago.
It's no Rangers related anyway, so if you can't think, that's fine.
I don't know, you've stumped me with that because I don't even think about it.
Me and you were on the BBC Two for the Eggheads 10 years ago today. That get aired.
Was that 10 years ago? Well, a lot of viewers probably don't even know that, Scotia.
Yeah. No one wants to hear about that anyway, so we'll get straight into the game then. Ali, hi Scott. How you doing? So yeah, no worries. We lined up tonight, Ali, with McGregor in goals, back four, Tav, Goldson, Davies and Barisic, midfield Jack, Raskin and Cantwell, and then up top with Sakala, Cholak and Kent. So any surprises for you there?
Nah, me and you, I think, picked Alfie through the middle. The midfield backline picked itself in was it Morelos or was it Cholak? He went with Cholak, probably deservedly so after the way Cholak played at the weekend. And I think it may tell a story going forward, Scotia, that I think we'll see Cholak more often because I can't see Morelos being there next season. And I think it will be Cholak as the main striker moving forward now.
Yeah, no, we did have this discussion. I think Carney did have got the team correct this evening, but we did have that discussion what we like to see. And something I was thinking about as well is I think Morelos gives you a bit more off the bench in any case anyway over Cholak as well. If the game's maybe not going your way, I think he can offer a wee bit more. But the other side, he's not surprised, but the other question mark was maybe around the midfield was could Jack handle another game, but we'll get on to him as well. Also, something I quickly noticed was that there was no central defenders on the bench. Which, I know both King and Suter played in the B team game yesterday, and I've not heard anything that Beale said, but I felt I was a wee bit worried when I seen that at first. But hopefully it is.
Yeah, the only thing with that one I would say is if push came to shove, Lundstrom could play there. He's played there before, and Ryan Jack's actually played there before as well. So I don't think it was a big issue, to be honest.
No, anyway, so into the game. I think in the first couple of minutes, Hibs went forward with Yuan, that he slipped through to, or he got the better of Tav. Then it breaks through to Stevenson. He whips across in, and then I think the boy Hop starting up front for them, should do better here, but nothing comes of that. Then this is how the game kind of unfolded for the next sort of 10 minutes or so. Then we go up the pitch straight away. Scala gets fouled in a promising area, and a great ball in by Borna Barisic, and maybe Ben Davies, or was it maybe Sakala from it, should maybe do better here to knock the ball away. Like I say, end-to-end stuff at this moment. Cantwell has a slightly slack pass, which causes a wee bit of issues for Tav. Then Cantwell concedes a foul, and then from this resulting foul, Alistair, the cross comes in, Hope peels off at the back post, hits it across the face of goal, and Goldson turns it into the back of the net. This wasn't the start we were really hoping for.
No, it wasn't. I mean, you know how Hibs are going to play. It was a bit frantic for the first 10 minutes. They were high pressing Scotia, getting a wee bit of joy. We were warned, as you said previously. It's a poor goal to concede. Ball to a back, boys free to back post. Scotia just to nod the ball back across Goldson. There's not much you can do about it. Unfortunately, puts it in the back of the net. And no, it's not a great start. But you'll see what comes on later on in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I did think we would concede a goal tonight, but I really didn't want it to be the first goal because you know how the way the Easter Road crowd can get up for a game when stuff like that happens, and then Yeah, like what's the story of the game then. Straight away from the kickoff, we go way back up the pitch, breakthrough with Kent. Has a wee bit of a heavy touch when he gets slipped through here, but his leg gets taken away for him. The referee doesn't give it, takes ages, doesn't give it, and then finally goes to VAR. This confused me, Pearson. I don't know about you, how the length of time it took the ref to kind of
Yeah,
penalty.
it's a stone-waller. It's an absolute stone-waller. Yeah, Kent's first touch wasn't great, but the boy, you see Ryan Kent's leg getting dragged by the boy's boot.
Yeah.
It's the same way if you grab somebody with the leg and drag them along the ground. It was like that, and I was surprised the referee didn't see it when it went to VAR and they showed the replays. It's a stone-waller. But yeah, it was a weird one because, like I say, it was a bad touch by Kent, but it was a stonewall penalty.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I can think of this is that the referee is too afraid to give the penalty, and he thinks because I've got VAR there anyway, I can go and check it. Yeah, no, not too soon, but because he's got the kind of the safety net of VAR to go and have another look at it is the reason he doesn't give it. That he doesn't want to be made to look a fool of. But it seemed in real play, it seemed a clear penalty to me, and as well. And if that's the case, the ref can then get it. The penalty can get overturned from VAR as well. So I don't know what he was thinking there. Just a strange one. Ref wasn't great all evening, if we're being honest. From the penalty, Tav rockets away as well. And something I actually noticed here, Ali, was that Jolak picked the ball up again as well. Now,
yes.
I don't think that he's picking that ball up expecting to take the penalty. I think he's picking that ball up to kind of stop the keeper getting in Tav's ear before he's going to take the penalty and things like that. I don't know if you kind of thought that.
There's probably conspiracies out there, Scotia, that Cholak's picking the ball up and doing something with the ball, and that's how we're scoring these penalties for Tav. But I noticed that as well. It was the first thing I thought. I thought Cholak's holding that ball again. Great penalty by Tav, though. Just whips it right into the corner with pace. David Marshall, he's a decent keeper, to be fair, nowhere near it. And at that point, because Rangers, they started to kick on at that point, and I thought straight back in because it killed Hibs' momentum. If it stayed 1-0 a bit longer, Hibs might have got a bit of joy, but it kind of knocked the stuffing right out of them instantly.
Yeah, so the penalty gets put away. We're on equal footing with Hibs. And then it's straight away as well. Sakala then collects a great ball by Borna. He crosses it into Kent, but Kent just can't connect with that. And then again, down that left-hand side, Borna with a ball to Cholak at the back post. It's well won back by Cantwell. And then Tav gets it, crosses it to Scala, who lays up Kent, but then Kent hits this straight at keeper. So Rangers starting to grow into the game a wee bit here. And then in the 19th minute, there was some really good pressing by Ryan Jack, who gets the ball to Sakala, but Sakala can't really do much for this. And then it was that kind of coming into this period here, Ali, that I thought that Rangers sort of really started showing a lot of dominance in the ball. You know, after we'd got the equaliser, you've seen it building up. But this, between the 20th and the 30th minute, I just thought here in particular, Rangers were showing that dominance and exerting control over the game. Yeah,
they were excellent, Rangers. As soon as they got the equalising goal, they were fantastic, Rangers. The way they just controlled the game, the movement off the ball, fizzing ball into feet. I just thought they were fantastic. We'll come on to the whole game as a whole, but it was a joy to watch, Scotia. It's not many times you can sit there as a Rangers fan, apart from that Hearts game not that long ago, you can sit back and go, this is really enjoyable to watch. And it was the movement. It's that midfield, Scotia. See that midfield that Cantwell, Raskin buzzing about, and Ryan Jack just dictating as well. That's the midfield going forward. And whether Tillman comes in for Sakala and then again, whatever it is, but that's your midfield for me. And in two games we've seen, in the first half especially, like against Kilmarnock, and today, the whole game today, it just shows that has to be in the midfield going forward if Ryan Jack can stay fit, though, as Carney would say.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that. It certainly would be my midfield, starting midfield going forward. As in, like you say, maybe Tillman for Cantwell for Tillman, Sakala, switch and stuff like that, just depending on the opponent, I suppose, who we're up against. But yeah, then some more decent play in the 30th minute by Rangers when Raskin was unlucky with a nice kind of clever dink ball over the top for Cholak, but just hits it a wee bit too close to the keeper here. And then straight after that, some really, really good play by Cantwell on the right-hand side. He dinks the ball, sort of looking as if he's aiming for Sakala or Cholak, but hits off the defender's head. Borner's there, Kenny, at the back post. Thunders an absolute bolt of a shot straight at the keeper, goes out for a corner. But again, Rangers starting to look really impressive at this point. And then not long after that, Rangers get their second. Kent wins back a ball, slips back in Sakala down the left-hand side, and then he fires into the 6-yard box for Colak to neatly stick away a nice and tidy goal here, and we're 2-1 up, Billy. Happy days.
Yeah, it was coming, Scotia. I mean, the one for Barisic just before was unlucky. Keeper makes a good save, but the boy were knocking on the door. Some great football. Sakala for me tonight was, I seen everything for Sakala tonight. I seen him like outstanding at points, and then at points he was frustrating again, but that's just Sakala. But it's great play. It's a great ball by Sakala as well. He put a few good balls in tonight, and look at the movement for Colak, just moving off the striker at the front post and nicking it and then back the net. That's what he is, Colak, a penalty box striker. And it was a fantastic goal.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there was probably a few chances we had in between now and then, and if we'd been a wee bit more clinical, I mean, I think Kent could have probably had a few goals by this point. It could actually probably be on a hat-trick by this point, by the time the second goes in. But yeah, it was good. I think then just after this, I don't know if you caught this, I stupidly turned away for 2 seconds and completely missed it, but it looked like Hibs maybe had a wee bit of a chance going up the pitch. But
we missed it because Rangers TV or whatever it was they missed the whole point, and McGregor comes out and saves it, so we don't really know what happened between that point.
All right, okay. Right, so I didn't really miss much then, I thought, because I looked away and was checking something on my phone when that happened, so that's good to know. So just after that, there's another chance for Colak after Jack plays in Sakala again down that left-hand side, where we're getting an awful lot of joy. I think it was Chris Cadden that was out there for Hibs and had him in toast. No, yeah, it was the kind of suited Sakala this type of game, certainly the way that in the first half that Hibs were trying to play against us. And then just before half time, Colak wins the ball back well to Kent. Kent loses it, but then Jack nips in and plays in Sakala. Sakala looks like he's got a chance, but he just runs out in space, and that kind of takes us to the end of half time. And really good first half, I thought, barring that goal we conceded, Ali.
I thought we were brilliant. I thought it was very similar to the Hearts game a couple of weeks ago at Tynecastle. My only criticism, and it's clutching at straws for criticism here, is it was only 2-1. And do we get the game of two halves for Rangers in terms of, we've seen it on Saturday there, where they were good in the first half, and the second half they didn't turn up. That was my fear. Will they turn up in this second half? That was the only fear I had, because let's be honest about it, Scotia, that first half, Rangers deserved to be 4-1 would not have flattered Rangers at half time. They were that dominant on the ball, and Hibs couldn't live with us. And I was surprised the way Hibs played. I wasn't surprised, but I thought they might have looked at Hearts, the way they played against us, quite open. And Hibs tried the same as well. And the joy that Sakala and Ryan Kent was getting was unbelievable, especially Sakala. He was running a mock down that wing at points, and the space he had was unbelievable. But it was, it was extremely enjoyable, that first half, Scotia.
Yeah, no, I think that's what I've got down in my notes as well, is that we probably should be out of sight by this point. Then probably should be out of sight. But if Kent and Sakala are a wee bit more clinical, we would be. But it's kind of the story of Kent and Sakala that we speak about all the time. You know, if they were a wee bit more clinical, it could be this. So yes, I'd like to see a wee bit more numbers in terms of goals, etc. for Kent. But Sakala's putting in some really, really tidy numbers at the minute. And then obviously barring that, we could have done a bit better for the goal. Letting that boy Hop get away at the back was a bit of an error for me. But other than that, there wasn't much, like you said, that Goldson could do. But thoroughly impressed with us in that first half. Looking forward to the second half, although I did have that kind of fear, like you mentioned, of are we going to see a wee bit of a drop off here? But we didn't. So the second half starts, and Cantwell straight away gets a wee word from the referee. I think he'd had a few kind of nothing serious, but a few wee niggly fouls in the first half, and it finally gets a wee word from the referee.
That was like a booking, by the way.
Did you think it was a booking?
Yeah. And by the way, thank you, Lorraine, for the kind donation as well.
I didn't see that. Thank you, Lorraine.
But no, for me, I thought that was a stonewall booking. I thought we got away with one though.
All right, no, like I say, I didn't think there was that much in it, but certainly I noticed that he'd had a few wee niggly fouls, but I don't think anyone was booked in the first half, were they?
No.
So anyway, after that, Sakala, this time down the right-hand side, but he puts in a poor ball for Colak, who was clean through, and that, again, one of these chances that could have come off. Then in 50 minutes, there's some decent probing, and then Cantwell fires a ball into Cholak, who hits it off the defender. And then right after this, Sakala scores. The ball after that wee chance for Cantwell and Cholak, the ball goes to Marshall. Marshall tries to clear the ball. Ryan Jack in the centre of the midfield excellently heads the ball down into the danger area where Sakala is. Sakala swivels his defender and then knocks it away to make it 3-1, and Ryan can get the waka waka on Ali.
Yep, and I got my early goal, Scotia, to kill it as well. That's what I was looking for.
Not heard you see the early goal in a while.
I know, because I don't want to jinx it, but that's in my head. That's what I was hoping for. But Hibs were trying to play out for the back quite a lot, Scotia, and Hibs aren't good enough to do that. Let's be honest about it. And as soon as we pressed them, they shat themselves, and David Marshall did, and Ryan Jack does well, composure. And to Sakala, what a finish, by the way, as for Sakala to swivel and bury that in the bottom corner. It was some finish by him. And I'm thinking that it just deserves to be 3-1 up at that point, Scotia. And I really thought that's game over. I couldn't see Hibs doing anything after that. Yeah,
no, it was that way. Once we get that all-important kind of 2-goal cushion, you kind of felt that way. Was it David Marshall's? Is he not retired now? Was it David Marshall that plays in goals for them?
David Marshall, eh?
Is it? I thought it was some other Marshall.
You should know Scotia being a Scotland fan, honestly.
I know. I'll need to get on that because the Scotland game's at the end of the month. So anyway, we're not here to speak about that. So just after that, 6 minutes later, Big Cholak with the fourth, a deep cross in by Barisic to Tav. Kenny knocks in to Kent. Kent looks up, passes it to Sakala. Sakala looks up, passes it to Cholak. Cholak fires it away. I thought this was a really, really good goal, Ali.
Yeah, excellent goal. Ruthless. I thought we were that beginning the second half, because we weren't ruthless in the first half. We were brilliant in the first half without being ruthless, and I thought we came into the second half and just put it to bed. How we should be playing against these teams. I mean, I did. We knocked stuff in out of Hibs, but it was a great goal, and Big Cholak again, great finish by him. Another assist by Sakala too. I'd love to see Sakala's assists and goals to appearances to see where they are, but no, big 20 goals high. And 2 goals in that point, and the hat trick was there for him.
Oh, how many times this season have we said the hat trick's there for Cholak? He's always
and he kept him on for it as well for quite a long time.
Yeah, it was. So pretty much straight after the ball, Lewis Stevenson gets booked for Hibs. I think this was the first booking, wasn't it? Lewis Stevenson got booked for a late challenge in Raskin, where I think he actually injures but he takes out his other player as well, because they're both going in for him.
I think they were frustrated.
Yeah, you could see that kind of happening. On the 60th minute, we had a chance for Cholak's hat-trick after Kent was down the left-hand side here, but nothing came of that.
He's got to score that, though.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. He does, yeah. He does, yes. But we'll let him off. He's just after scoring too, so we'll let him off with that, and we were 4-1 up. Then Tav has a great run with a cross into Sakala, knocks it away, looks like it's 5-1, but James Tav went just a wee bit too early and correctly called offside. But I'm surprised they actually looked at VAR to this, because it seemed sort of clear and dry for me.
It took ages as well, right? It was majorly offside.
Yeah, and then it was again like the first half. This spell here between the 60th and 70th minute. Rangers had a really, really good spell, and we were always in control of the ball. Don't know what you thought about it. I think there was every player bar McGregor touched the ball at one point in one of the kind of moves we made. It was a joy to watch. Some
of the play in that second half spell was outstanding. I don't know if Tim's I've said outstanding, but it was outstanding by Rangers. There was some moves, Scotia, where if we'd finished it, it's goal of season contenders, because everyone was involved. Slick passing, 1-2s, movement off the ball, runners. Honestly, I sat back at that second half, Scotia, and I was watching it going, is this Rangers? I'm watching at times, because the movement was unbelievable. And some of the moves it was just a finishing touch on it with a goal, but brilliant to watch it. It was a joy to watch at times with Rangers tonight. I just hope they can do that every week for me.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So during that kind of wee spell, Sakala kind of had a wee bit of a chance, and then there was some good play as well towards the end of that period where we Kent, but he was unlucky not to be able to get a shot away. And just after this, there was Yeah, just after that, yeah. And then just after that as well, Hibs with a rare chance up the park with Nisbet, but Kenny passes the ball just out. Should do better there, you think, for a player of Kenny Nisbet's quality, but that was the really only chance of note that Hibs had since they scored.
Do you know why he didn't start, Scotian Nisbet? I don't know why he didn't start. I assumed he was injured or something until I seen him come on. I thought, why is he not starting?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think he started the game at the weekend as well. Just when I was quickly looking at their last game for doing the pod last night, so I don't know if he's maybe just getting bled back into the team. I don't watch Hibs enough to kind of have any knowledge about it. So yeah, after that, then Kent's fouled after a clever step over that was sort of linking up with a 1-2 with Cholak again. It was this bit of play that you're like, oh, what you love to see, and sort of took out, and then Hanlon's booked for that. Which I think that's a correct decision by the ref there.
Yeah, no, but again, Rangers were too quick for Hibs all over the park today. Hibs couldn't live with us today. It's just the moment. Ryan Kent, see if you watch, I'd love the heat map of Ryan Kent tonight of where he was in that football park, because he was everywhere. If he left to right, central. But he just, the way he drops a shoulder there and he spins the guy, tries the 1-2 with Cholak. He was brilliant tonight, Ryan Kent. Again, a guy probably deserved a goal tonight as well. Unlucky quite a few times, but see when Ryan Kent's playing like that, he is unplayable.
Yeah, just I seen Rangers on Tour had put up a comment there about when you've got guys in the team that want to move forward that stops the usual side passes, we just keep on pushing. See, during this period as well, what I noticed is that Connor Goldson was constantly really high up the pitch, and I don't know if you get this feeling, but it just looked like me, like he wanted a wee bit of the action, maybe to redeem himself for knocking the ball away into your own net at the start of the game. But no, I found that funny with how high up Goldson was. But I've noticed that on a couple of occasions now that Goldson occasionally will start playing up a wee bit higher, and I think it helps a massive amount when you've got a player like Ryan Jack sitting in midfield with the kind of confidence that those players have got in him, I think.
But he's a good ball player, Connor Goldson. I mean, you've seen that for years with Goldson, where he'll drive with a ball up the park, but he was on their 18-yard box at times near the last 10 minutes of Goldson trying to thread balls in, and like you say, Ryan Jack can just slot in and help out at times if they do break Hibs. But we'll come on to the players tonight, Scotia, but even I thought Goldson and Davies at the back were brilliant once again. Yeah, so just after this, we make first time I think in a competitive game I've maybe seen this. 5 subs for Rangers. So Kent, Cholak, Sakala. I'm not saying who came on for who. Kent, Cholak, Sakala, Raskin, and Cantwell all came off. Arfield, Morelos, Wright, Lundstrom, and Hadji all came on. Correct decision for me to do this, because I don't think he wanted to make any changes prior to that, because it looked like they were having such a good time out there. But it then also gives the players a decent 15 minutes to kind of get into the game and stuff. I don't know what your thoughts with that 5 subs were. Yeah, I think he was sitting back looking at it, like we were all sitting looking at the game going, but why break this up? Boys like Raskin didn't look like he was tiring like he did against Kilmarnock at the weekend. Looked like they could have just kept on playing. Made the subs at the right time. The only downside in the subs was Matondo didn't come on, because I seen he was in the bench.
I was going to ask you about that.
That game was set up for Matondo to come on and get a goal, especially the way Hibs were at that point. So I was surprised not to see Matondo, but we might see him on Sunday. But no surprise to see the 5 subs, but good time to do it.
Yeah, no, and it was good also to see Hadji and Arfield getting on for a bit longer than they got.
Hadji get clattered instantly though.
Well, I was going to come to that. Yeah, well,
right.
I was not happy. I was not happy with Nisbet when that happened. Yes, because like you say, Nisbet straight away.
You knew he was going to get clattered straight away.
Yeah, and then Nisbet was arguing with the ref for some bizarre reason, but he was potentially lucky to get away with just a word there.
Should have been booked for it.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, so that didn't stop Hadji though, because on the 82nd minute, Hadji has a long range effort where he turns onto his left foot, then turns onto his right foot, turns back to his left foot, hits a shot away and just straight at the keeper. But good to see sort of Hadji kind of picking off where he left when he first got injured. And then with the game, Pearson, I don't know what your thoughts were, but when you make 5 changes in a game like that, you fully expect the flow of the game to get completely interrupted. And for me, it did a wee bit, but not as much as I maybe expected it to.
Yeah, when he made the 5 subs, I thought this will just peter out now the game. But to credit to the 5 subs that come on, the tempo was kept up. I thought Scott Wright was very good when he came on.
Yeah.
He's a very good sub to bring on against teams like this when they're tiring, because he's quick and he's direct. Scott Wright, I thought he was very good when he came on, along with the other players. I thought they were decent too. Morelos was greedy at one point where I thought he should have played Arfield in, but that's Morelos. He's a striker, so he's got the right to have a go. But he'd probably seen big Tony Gold scoring 2 goals and thought, I need to get on the score sheet too, but he should have played Arfield in. But no, it didn't really interrupt the momentum at all, Scotia, and it kept up. Rangers kept going.
Yeah, I mean, right up until the end, they kept going. I think the last note I do have down was when what you were just talking about there, when Wright broke forward. Wright ungreedingly passes the ball to Alfie. Alfie greedily takes the shot where, like you say, he should pass in Arfield. But I don't mind Alfie taking a shot when we're 4-1 up like this, because we moan about our players not taking shots and chances when they should. But I think this one was probably, if it was sitting at 2-1 or if it was sitting at 1-1, the correct ball would have been slipping Arfield here. But yeah, that's the last note I've got written down. I don't know if there was anything else the last sort of 5 minutes that caught your eye.
No, like I said, Scott Wright was for me the one that caught my eye in the last 5 minutes. I even thought last minute of the game there was a ball down near their corner flag and Tav was busting his arse to get to it. Yeah. That just shows the desire for the team today. They just kept going, Rangers. And it's like Ryan harps on, it's a bare minimum from what a Rangers team should be doing, but they showed everything. And I mean, it is the standard for Rangers. We said that against Hearts, that's the standards, and they've come out and done it against Hibs, but we need to consistently do this. I know why Hibs and Hearts in their own ground suit us, because they try and have a go at us. I know teams at Ibrox sit in, so it is difficult at times, but no, brilliant. And I seen that comment you put up there, Scotia, about your beard. Disappointed you shaved that off, honestly.
I did tell you it was going at some point, so I decided today was the day.
You've let everyone at Club at 20 down. You've let your OnlyFans down. You've probably went majorly down in subscribers and your OnlyFans because of that. So, yeah, we should get a poll, Club at 22. Does Scotia bring the beard back? So, it's a yes from me.
Right, okay, I'll take that on board, Ali. I'll take that on board. No, I will not. Yeah, so you'd speak about Tav there. I thought Tav had an excellent game tonight. I thought everyone had
an excellent game. First 5 minutes.
Yes, true. But it was one of his. These games always kind of happen when you get those first 5-10 minutes where it is kind of end to end, particularly when you're over at Easter Road or, like you say, at Tynecastle. This might be a difficult one for Al. I'm going to trouble you for a man of the match. You can give me a man of the match and talk through other players as well if you want, because I thought they were all brilliant.
I had to think of this when I was flying back from Spain now to get back in time for this podcast. And I could do my usual Scotia and just get through the whole bloody team that I do. To me, it was a team performance. Difficult to give a man the match. If I had to push for one, Ryan Jack. Somebody put a comment up there. Probably Ryan Jack. I just thought he won the ball back. He kept it moving. He moved it forward. He linked the play. I thought he was brilliant. And if Ryan Jack can stay fit consistently, which we keep harping on about, he's a guy that I signed for next season if he can play like that. And I think we were talking in the group chat and spoke to Carney and Carney was saying that Lundstrom must look at Ryan Jack and go, that's how you play that position, because Ryan Jack was outstanding in that position tonight, and he's got 2 in terms of Raskin and Cantwell beside him, guys that are at his level. And
2 ballers.
They just clicked, the 3 of them together. They know what each other's are doing. They interlink the play. I thought he was brilliant, Ryan Jack. But honestly, Scotia, if I could give that as an all-round man of the match team performance, I would, because I thought every man in that park, apart from Alan McGregor, because he had nothing to do really, apart from one save, was outstanding, really outstanding.
Yeah, sorry, just as you say that, the last thing I kind of remember of McGregor during that match was when Goldson kind of hoofed the ball right up in the air, and he went to catch it and missed it. I don't know if the snow was maybe getting in his eyes at that point. No, but like you say, that the whole sort of front, the outfield 10 were absolutely immense tonight in my eyes. I think that was probably the best performance we've had of the season.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I thought Hearts was our best performance of the season. But when I watched that tonight. And at times when I watched Rangers, I was like, that's what we're crying out for with Rangers. They've got it in the locker, Rangers, and that's the team we should be playing moving forward for the rest of the season. It really should be. Like we say, Tillman will come in and out, Sakala might come in and out, whatever. But Rask and Jack Cantwell, for me, no brainer moving forward. When you see them play like that, I thought they were a joy to watch tonight, Rangers, and yeah, honestly, Club at 22, the negative podcast. What a positive podcast this is, really.
It makes a change. No, but for me, I mean, we could go through. I'll do a U and go through the whole team. I thought Tav,
go through them all. Go on.
I thought Tav was excellent, getting about everywhere, looked really comfortable, and I think it's from having Jack there as that kind of safety to let him go forward. Goldson and Davies at the back, absolutely solid. Yeah, solid. Goldson in particular, I thought was great again. He even got a goal for his good work. Unfortunately, not the goal in the end he wanted. Barisic again, he linked up really well with Sakala, Cantwell when they were going down that left-hand side. Midfield three, you've kind of summed them all up there. Really good. I thought Cantwell was pretty spectacular again today. The way he was winning the balls back and stuff, getting about the pitch, everything that we kind of spoke about on the after the game at Kelly at the weekend there and on the pod last night, the Club Deck Corner. Then the front three, excellent as well. If only if they were a wee bit more clinical, they would be probably 8.5s, 9s. But I don't think any player was under a 7 out of 10 tonight. No. An awful lot of them were on the 8s. But my man of the match, if I had to pick one, it's got to be Ryan Jack. I thought he was absolutely immense. He's the player that after they scored and we got the equalizer, he kind of brought us back into the game, and then it was from him that we started playing well, and he was brilliant, getting about everywhere. He was helping out the defence when needed to, he was helping out the attack when needed to, and I thought he had a really good game at the weekend against Kelly at the first half.
Yeah, no, he did. The booking nullified him probably a wee bit in the second half, but yeah, no.
But this game, he was on form throughout for the whole 90, so that was pleasing to see, because I have really liked Ryan Jack since he ever came in, and he was. I've said this to you guys, he would have been my choice of captain when Gerrard was changing from Wallace to someone else. Maybe, obviously, hindsight now with the injuries, probably not a great choice, but he's the type of player that you kind of, when fit and firing, you want him in your team. But yeah, that'll do. It's a very enjoyable 4-1 then, Ali. So thank you very much for your time this evening.
No problem. Enjoyable to come on and talk about that with Rangers. That's twice we've been to Edinburgh in the last 4 weeks, whatever it is. Extremely enjoyable to watch. And we kind of said at Scotia before this game that we've always thought it's Easter Road, it's one of these games, it's a dodgy game. And I said, and Ryan says it all the time, we should be going to these teams and taking it to them. And Rangers did take it to Hibs tonight. Hibs couldn't live with us. I don't think any team could live with us playing that way we played tonight. Exceptional. But that's the level now, Scotia, moving forward with Rangers. We need that moving forward in terms of winning every game in the league and the Scottish Cup. But brilliant. And I was delighted to talk about that. So, yes, I'll be back on Friday. Don't you worry.
Yes, no, so thank you all the listeners. Thank you, Lorraine, for the donation this evening. A wee quick impromptu live reactions just because it was such an enjoyable victory. So, yeah, I'd like to thank the listeners once again for all your support and everything. We shall be back on Friday evening for a club live, which I believe Mr. Ryan Haymarch is meant to be hosting. So we will be
on holiday, no?
I don't know. I think he's used up all his annual leave this year. So yes, we will be back with you on Friday evening, and we'll get the other guys' reactions for that as well, and look ahead to the game on Sunday. So thank you, everyone. This is Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Good evening.